Welcome to this Warcry battle between the Cities of Sigmar and Beasts of Chaos. In the north of Gyran, as you head towards the outer edges of the realm, you will find the region of the Havens. This land is ruled over by the free city of Haefenhoven, and the Everqueen has charged them with returning this land to her light. Unfortunately, this area has been beset by many trials over the past few hundred years, as the free city has been under siege by both the forces of death and chaos, and is still recovering its strength, meaning the small settlements deeper into the region have been left to their own defense. This has come to a head when it had been foreseen that a large number of armies and warbands are ravaging the havens and would all be heading towards the settlement of Grailkor on the shores of Loch Lyciel. Unfortunately, the Baron of Haefenhoven has little forces available, and so was able to spare but a single Luminark of Haesh in the hopes that it would be enough. Here we have the forces of Haefenhoven who are heading north to Grailkor. They will be using the Living City rules. The seer Marion, who has been the source of these visions, was given the duty to head towards Grailkor. Feeling that a small group would be easier to avoid the roving warbands, he settled on a small human bodyguard, members of the famed Anchored Souls. As their name suggests, once they have a charge, their souls themselves were forever locked to the completion of this. To travel up to Grailkor, however, Marion would be required to cross through the shifting forests, a place where the pathways changed daily. The elves of the Forest Watch were called in to assist, sending in their soul-linked pairs of bow and spear to help them through. However, fate has been unkind to Marion and his Luminark as they head northward, the true sight of the Haeshian contraption seeming rallied against the nebulousness of the shifting forests. Against the advice of the elves, he attempted to burn a path of light through the woods, until a piece was suddenly struck off and disappeared into the underbrush. Marion and his guards have been forced to stop and look for the missing piece, but as they search, they suddenly hear from the forest the baying and bleating sounds. It seems as if the beasts of chaos have found them. Here we have the forces of the Beast of Chaos. Led by the Bray Shaman Nubhorns, racked by visions of destruction and lightning, he has been traveling around the havens, rousing up the Bray herds to head north. His small retinue with him simply to ensure his words would be heeded. Traveling through the shifting forest towards the next herd, his mind was suddenly beset with a shining light of absolute pureness. He roared in pain, sending his Ungor raiders and Bestigors out. They were going to destroy the source of this light, for these woods were the domain of the herd, and they must remain free from any taint of civilization. Here in the center, we have Marion standing in front of the Luminark with a small bodyguard of the Anchored Souls. To one side we have the Forest Watch, to the other the Sisters of the Watch, searching for the missing piece. To the north we have Nubhorns, as the ambush is coming. Let us begin turn 1. It's the end of turn 1, and the Forest Watch have returned back to help defend Marion as the Beastmen have charged from the north. Meanwhile, the Sisters of the Watch are laying down a withering amount of firepower as Marion searches. But little do they know, the Beastmen have some ambushers coming in from the south. The end of turn 2, the Sisters of the Watch have found the missing piece of the Luminark, and Marion is moved back with them to make sure it remains in his hands. To the south, the Ungor raiders have begun their ambush. However, the Anchored Souls kept a clear eye and have moved in to intercept. To the north, where the main thrust of the Beastman attack has come, Leopold rushes in and holds 3 of them back, while Nubhorns and another Beastman rush around the side, hoping to get clearer and nearer to Marion. At the end of turn 3, the Beastmen continue to push forward. In the north, Leopold holds against 3 of the fiends, managing to slay 1, giving himself long enough time for another one of the Forest Watch to come and assist. But Nubhorns and the other Gore have made it to the Sisters, holding the missing piece. 2 of them throwing themselves in front to hold off the charging Gore, while the one at the back looks to Marion, who is locked in a magical duel with Nubhorns. To the south, the Ungor raiders have been forced back into the woods, the men of the Anchored Souls easily overwhelming the skittish raiders, and they fall beneath their swords. Here, at the end of the game, we shall learn if Marion was successful or if the Children of Chaos have stopped the reinforcements to Grailkor. Leopold has fallen beneath the blades of the Gores, who have moved on to attack the Elf of the Forest Watch. However, to the south, the Anchored Souls have finished off the raiders and are now free to come back and defend their charge. The Sisters of the Watch have lost 2 of their number to both the violence of the Gore and the magic of Nubhorns, their hatred of the Beastmen almost overwhelming their duty. But with the magical assistance of Marion, one of their number was able to fall back from the violence and secure the missing piece. Marion looked around. The peace of the Luminark was secure, and they outnumbered the beastmen. Soon they would be heading back to Grailkor. Looking through the woods, he could see the vile beast shaman screeching into the sky. It was unfortunate that the creature would continue to live. Marion attempted to view the future, to see what fate might befall the shaman, but nothing replaced the constant images he saw in his mind's eye. That violence would be coming to Grailkor, and he must be there to help defend it. Victory to the Cities of Sigmar! Huzzah!